And welcome back to the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. My name's Tristan Lowe, and today my guest is none other than
Jim Smith of JS Tailoring.
How you doing, Jim?
Very good, thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, sir. All right, Jim Smith from JS Tailoring. From what I know, it's a local business based in Lincoln,
Yep.
and you work with people all over the country. I first met Jim would have been maybe up to 4 or 5 years ago. You had a concession in one of the local department stores, and I walked past and saw the gentleman working with people, and I saw that he was well dressed, well tailored, and I thought I'll ask him because I didn't know anything about shirts and ties, and you did, and that's how we started a conversation.
Yeah.
Small world that it is. It turned out that Jim specialised in tailoring for some of my personal training clients, some of the businessmen that I've worked with and trained to get them in good shape. You've then taken over and got them looking good in their suits and what have you.
Feeling good as well.
Tell me something. JS Tailoring, how did it start?
Starting after getting made redundant in 2011.
Yeah, what from?
Worked for a company in Leeds, based in concession. They used to put concession businesses into Burton's, House of Fraser, Debenhams, etc.
Right.
Got made redundant from them, and then set up on myself, and that's been it ever since then. So yeah.
Yeah, you got made redundant from those high street brand names that we know. Okay. Was you already skilled in tailoring then, or was you simply just working behind the desk?
Yeah, no, skilled with that. Went on a couple of weeks training course to measure and make products and stuff like that. And so just sort of evolved from there.
Yeah.
Took it back into branch, and then obviously the clients were coming in, and then obviously then getting made redundant. So it's now basically working from home, going out all over the country, suiting and booting the rich and the famous, and the man on the street, Jay Blogs, and everybody else. So,
excellent. Yeah. Should every man in the Western world, or should every man own a suit?
I think so. Yeah.
I've read that, and I've thought to myself, what about a guy who lives in South America in the Amazon? What about a guy who lives in the deepest parts of the Congo? Should he own a suit?
There are some exceptions, and they're probably like Alaska or Antarctica and stuff like that. So most 90% of the population should own a suit. I think anyway. Yeah.
Okay. I mentioned the Congo. What's interesting though is there's a culture or a subculture called the Congolese dandies. Have you seen that? These men that live in the Congo, and they actually they dress in fine, loud coloured suits. I researched it and did some reading up on it about 10 years ago. I don't know how I came to that subject, but it showed these guys, and because they worked with Dutch and French and British people in commerce, when they had the trade that went into Africa from Europe and from South America, they got to see how some European and British men dressed in fine suits, and they would travel back with them to the UK, Paris, Vienna, Italy, learn, and what they've expanded their hierarchy in the villages, in the townships of the Congo by wearing and hence the term, the Congolese dandies. And I thought, what a strange thing, a place like that. So perhaps people in the Congo do need a suit. There's some more work there, sir. Okay, getting back to it. Okay, right, so let's talk about it then. All right, where does the suit start? I walk into your, if I contact you via email, by referral or another way, and I come into you and say, Jim, I need your help. I make a phone call. Where do I meet you?
I come to you, it's all part of the service.
Yeah.
So anywhere in the UK, I've got clients all over the UK, as you know. Pop out and arrange a time to meet that's beneficial to both the client and myself. Get it penciled into the diary, pop out and see them, measure them up, show them all the cloths, all the options, cuts, fits, etc. Garments are then made 6 to 8 weeks later, go back for a fitting, try the garment on if I need to tweak anything, it's then taken back again, I tweak it, go back, final fit, and that's it, and that's how I do it.
Right, so final fit could be week 8, week 9?
Yeah, 12? Week 8, week 9, if it's something just a little bit, it's a couple of days to get bits and pieces altered, but yeah.
What's the biggest turnaround, the longest turnaround if someone comes in for a suit made from scratch from a quality material? What's the longest something would take if there was no problems? You had to keep going back. Could there be a job where you say to a customer, you'll say, right, John, right, David, this is going to take 16 weeks? Or do you know that you're always done in 8 weeks?
No, because you can get sometimes where you can order the cloth, and then it might have actually, you might be slightly under with the meterage of cloth that you need. So you'd have to wait and speak to the mill and see if they're going to mill some more of that, which could happen. Obviously then you've got a shading issue with that, because what I've physically shown them, it can be slightly different
Yeah.
in the next batch of cloth.
And would they see it?
Yeah, they would see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd notice it. So rather than me saying, well, let's make your jacket and your waistcoat in the old cloth,
Yeah.
trousers in the new cloth, you could put them side by side and get a shading issue.
Mm.
So rather than do that, I would say, scrap that. Let's have a complete fresh amount of meterage.
Yeah.
And then put the whole thing through.
Yeah.
That way you're not going to get any shadings.
You say the mill. Where is the mill? Where?
There's only a couple of mills now. There's one in, most of the mills are in Bradford area.
Gotcha.
So there's a
Yeah.
couple in there. There's
So
one in Scotland as well.
Is Bradford considered like a textile city then?
Yeah, yeah.
And Scotland what? Is Scotland all tartan or something?
Yeah, you've got tartans, tweeds, and they'll do some fine plain cloths as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, they do
gotcha.
a good range. But there's not many mills now that are about. And obviously, you've only got Italian and stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right, okay. A customer, what's the biggest, I'll give an idea, my line of work as a personal trainer, the majority of the men and women that I train are 40 years and above, although having said that, today I've had a 24-year-old in, and
Yep.
this week it'll be a 17-year-old, but generally 40 and above, businessmen and women, and some that are in their late 50s to mid-70s that have retired from work, or they're about to.
Yeah.
Generally people that come from in personal training, ordinarily, not necessarily in personal training the country wide over, but in a private practice like mine, it tends to be from those that have worked hard and got the academic, emotional intelligence, but also they've got the actual financial resources to pay for a trainer to get what they want, how they want. How does that actually overlap or transfer to someone that comes in for a suit fitting?
I would say I've got a great spectrum. It's not just one age block of people. Most of my business is done referral or word of mouth,
Yeah.
which is great. I've got a few testimonials on my website from famous sports people and stuff like that.
Give us an example. Like a,
I've got quite a few of the England rugby, old England rugby guys.
yeah,
So the likes of Ben Kay, I've got Austin Healy, Martin Corrie,
yeah.
got a couple of Irish guys on there.
Sure.
So yeah,
I think I've actually seen some of yours on social media. Yeah.
which is really good.
Okay.
You know? So yeah.
Why rugby? Why not football or boxing or basketball?
I find that rugby players are more down to earth than footballers.
Okay.
Footballers, they're a bit of a bunch of prima donnas, if I'm
All
brutally
right.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Um,
But they must get their suits fitted somewhere.
yeah, but they want them for nothing, don't
Oh, do they?
they? Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But they could afford to buy tailor
exactly,
suits.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but they want. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go across then. So an age bracket you could go from. What's the youngest that you'd fitted?
I've done 4 or 5 year olds.
Really for weddings?
Yeah, weddings.
Yeah.
And done that and right up to 80 probably plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a good spectrum, but not many youngsters.
Yeah. Sure.
Purely because I want to give the customer value for money, and I don't see having something made that they're that small.
Yeah, it's
they're
gonna
going
be
to
too
be in it. They're going to be in it for 5 minutes. In
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
come to wear it again, and it's like
It's too small.
little Johnny's shot up
Yeah.
6 inches and
Gotcha.
gone out 6 inches. So yeah.
All right. Now, this might seem like a strange question, but it was something that I thought of about a month ago. Are there women that come to have suits fitted?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I've done quite a few.
I've actually seen a couple.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. There was one recently about 3 weeks ago in Lincoln City, and it was 2 women, and they were together,
Yeah.
and they were both wearing suits. And I don't mean they weren't going to work. It was for a sort of social function, and they were dressed in what I thought was a bloke suit. You know what I mean? So, what's the difference then when a woman comes for a suit fitting and a man?
Up top.
Okay, so it's just biology and physiology. That's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah. No, the ladies' button's different to the ladies' buttons on the left.
Okay,
The gents' buttons on the right.
right.
Yeah, just different shapes and sizes and
Yeah, but you
fits.
Yeah, that's it. Just fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Who's an ideal customer for you, if there is such a thing? No names, just an ideal customer.
Ideal customer.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
that you. Yeah.
just a standard box size, standard size, or
Okay.
are you thinking somebody?
Well, an ideal personal training client for me is a 55 to 65-year-old businessman or businesswoman. Okay, people that have worked hard and done well, that wants to lose maybe anything between 12 to 24 pounds. But after we've got that excess body weight off them and any excess body fat, okay, that's work between us. That's a journey. After that, they enjoy the benefit of the weekly appointment. That's their hour to themselves
Yeah.
with me or one of my trainers or therapists, and they like it and they continue to train. But the weight loss has already gone, the fat loss. They now like the feeling. They go home, they feel good, kiss the wife, keep the kids happy, work well, keep all their staff good, happy as well, and they think, right, this that 1 hour for them, and it could be for the next 10 years. That's not ideal, and they refer someone else.
Yeah.
Yours?
I would think it's not really an ideal. Most of my customers, the biggest challenge that I find with them is to say to them, right, I can measure you on one day, and then you can go back 6 weeks later for the fitting.
Yeah.
And if the wife has put them on a little bit of a diet,
yeah,
so you're thinking, right, why didn't you wait and then say to me, I'm going to put them on a diet, and I would have said, wait 6 weeks and then go.
And this will be leading up to a wedding?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, you can have that, and it's a bit of a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, thinking, right, okay, if you'd have stayed as you were,
yeah,
then that would have been perfect on you.
Gotcha.
With little tweaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, what's the, okay, so we've looked at, there's possibly an ideal client who's someone who keeps their body similar from the day one they meet you to whenever. Okay,
Yeah.
completely different from
It's
mine.
also a good incentive though for somebody. If I measure somebody and they say, oh, what's that? And I tell them, and they say, oh, I'm not that way. So I say, look, I don't make tape measures. Right, if the tape measure says X, Y, and Z,
Yeah,
then it gets made to X, Y, and Z.
yeah, gotcha, yeah.
You know, and then it's up to them then to keep it
Okay.
at that. So it's a good incentive for them.
Yeah,
With that as well.
yeah.
Yeah, it does keep them on the straight and narrow.
I see you wearing a waistcoat with your suit. Okay, so I often think that when you put a waistcoat with a suit, is that taking it more formal or less formal?
I would say more formal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, more formal.
And why is that?
I just prefer the look of a three-piece suit.
Yeah,
I think it looks more classy.
gotcha. Would you always wear a waistcoat, even like in the middle of summer if you had a really?
Yeah, yeah. Some of my friends have said to me, Jim, how can you wear a waistcoat?
Yeah.
You know, how can you wear a suit when it's 30 degrees or whatever? Well, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
It's what I've always done.
Yeah,
So,
in the same way I can wear shorts and t-shirt in the
Yeah.
middle of winter. I'm
Yeah.
used to it. All right, so why are there people outside London now? Because I'm imagining barristers, solicitors, people in legal, possibly some people that work in high-level consumer finance or mergers and acquisitions. Are people in London still going to work every day in three-piece suits? And even the bowler hat, is that still a thing?
I think they're very few and far between now.
Right.
I think it's gone for me, it's gone too casual
Yeah.
and not as formal, or it's more informal now.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest bugbear that I see now is people wearing suits with trainers,
I've seen that.
white trainers. I think it looks absolutely shocking.
I've seen it. Yeah.
And to me, it's just a cardinal sin.
Is that someone too cool for school, or is it that you think that they're not running to work, are they? And they're running
Not
home.
running to work.
So what is it then? No, actually, I've seen that. I've seen it.
I think it's
Suits with
just whoever has started wearing a suit with a pair of trainers,
Yeah.
and obviously then it's followed on and people
Yeah.
have copied it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but to me it's just no. If you've got a nice suit, you want a nice pair of shoes.
pair of shoes as well.
Yeah.
I see, when you watch like Premier League football and they talk to the ex-players that are pitch side, they wear suits and they wear either trainers or they wear those shoes that have got like the trainer, the soft
got
base,
a white
rim,
sole on them.
band or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
the rand or the band.
Yeah.
How is that okay?
For me, no.
Oh, still okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
To me, if you're going out and you're presenting yourself or the Sky TV or whoever that they're doing,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think you
Sky.
should
Yeah.
look the part.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're behind a desk or whatever,
It doesn't matter.
we can't see what you've got on. You might have a pair of shorts on,
Yeah.
shirt, tie, yeah. But yeah, for me, no. I just don't think it looks the part.
Let's go to the other end then. What about a tie? When you mentioned about the footwear, so Jim, basically you're saying is that a suit isn't just the suit jacket and the pants or the trousers to match, right? Should they always wear a tie? You've got a tie now.
I've got a tie because I just feel comfortable wearing a tie. And I think you should, again, like the shoes with the suit, put a tie with the suit.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are the occasions where people will still look smart, open neck, no tie.
Yeah.
You know, again. But if you're going to do that, I would then probably wear just a jacket and trousers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's more sort of, it's formal, but it's not as formal.
A waistcoat in my untrained eye would look odd with no tie.
No tie.
It would look like you don't know what you're doing, or but
you've left it at home.
yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha. Where did the idea of the suit with no tie and the open neck shirt, where did that originate from? Mediterranean or what? Because it's hard.
possibly it could be Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I would
But don't they look? The Italians always look good in their whatever they wear. Like,
Yeah.
why is that? Is it because they've all got good tans and good haircuts, or
Good
what?
tans, good haircuts, and they always tend to find that they'll put a nice pair of shoes with it
Oh, okay,
as well.
it comes back to
Yeah.
the
I
bookends
think so,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Top and bottom, yeah.
What's an absolute faux pas with suits? Wearing a baseball cap or a woolly hat or something, because that someone must have done that. Surely someone's worn a suit with a baseball cap, because if they wear it
They
trainers,
probably have.
yeah.
They probably have, but I've never seen.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, so here we are. What's your age now, Jim?
I'm coming up. I'll be 52
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Okay. Enjoy Thursday, sir, 'cause I won't see you Thursday.
I'll be on the plane.
Yeah, we'll come to that. All right then. Okay, so and now I know that you keep yourself in good condition. You keep yourself in shape, running.
Yes.
Right. Hence the thumbnail at the beginning. You saw Jim and I holding up our trainers. Jim had a pair of Adidas trainers. I had a pair of On Clouds. Right. Okay. Talk me through your running. Where did it start and why?
Started years ago. Used to play a lot of football, Sunday league. So obviously I was training in the week to
Yeah.
get my fitness up to play. Then when I packed up when I was 40, I remember chucking my boots in the bin and said, "That's it. I'm done."
Yeah.
Walked off the pitch, and then just to keep my fitness and stuff like that, just did a bit of running most mornings and stuff, but nothing too serious.
Yeah.
And then the last probably 5-6 years, I've got into my running massively.
Yeah. I've seen
So
it. Yeah.
park runs, 10Ks,
Yeah.
half marathon, marathons and stuff like that. So
Okay. Yeah. So an endurance sport, and actually quite a sport that takes its toll on your body. You know, I've seen you out on your runs. I've seen you on social media runs. What's your height, Jim? How tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, so it's probably about the average height, or maybe even a fraction higher than the world-class runners we see on TV, endurance runners,
Yeah.
all the African runners, and
Yes.
yeah. Okay, how much do you weigh?
76 kilo.
Yeah, now that seems quite heavy for a runner at 5'9".
Yeah. So I think it's about 12 stone.
Yeah, because you'd only have to be a few more kilos, and if you was a boxer, you'd get. So if Jim was a boxer at 5'9", and you have to put on a few kilos from a nice holiday, and you come back and you'd actually go into light heavyweight.
Yeah.
You'd be fighting someone my height at 6'4". You know, so that seems heavy though. What's it like on your joints and your knees and your?
It's been okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you're lean to look at, you know. So
Yeah, I feel good.
yeah.
I feel good.
Do you do your body composition readings?
No, probably should do more than that.
Yeah.
Probably should look into it more.
Well, if you don't need to, if you've not got any ailments, if you're getting weight bearing injuries, okay, then you've got to look at, are you carrying too much weight?
Yeah.
Not just for a runner, but for a 52-year-old 5'9" man. Secondly, what's your cadence like and your stride like and your technique like? What's your recovery work, your rehab work? What's your nutrition and your sleeping? And of course, the other one, father time, you know, age. Yeah. I actually worked with a high class runner this year. You know him and I know him. I've known Matt for years, and actually training him for strength training. He's a powerful athlete as well.
Yeah.
He's stronger than he looks. He's narrow boned. He's a smaller version of me. He's narrow boned and thin, but he's really muscular.
Yeah.
And he had more strength than the naked eye would tell just looking, because he's a very good quality athlete. So putting that for yourself, what strength training do you do? If any?
I don't do as much as I should do.
And why do you say that? How do you know that?
Just because of what I've seen, what I've read, other people doing. You know, I need to incorporate a bit more weight training into this next sessions.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's where I've dipped a bit, but then I think I haven't dipped because I'm happy with what I'm doing, the times that I'm achieving.
Yeah. Give us an example of a time of a 10k.
10k now I'm down to 41, just over 41.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you happy with that?
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
It's quite a pace, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad.
What do you think's achievable for you? If all the stars aligned on a certain day.
I want sub 40 for 10k.
Yeah.
I want sub 20 for park run or 5k.
Yeah.
Which I'm 9 seconds off that.
Crikey, small margins, eh?
It is a small margin, yeah.
If it's sub 40 a target for 10k, then I'm just guessing. I don't know. Surely it should be sub 19 for 10k, because you get a diminishing return, don't you, in the second half?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be more powerful in the first half of the run?
I tend to be on a park run. I tend to be more towards the end, so the final, which is probably a little bit strange for some people.
Okay.
But I find that last mile and a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
You can really
Put
stride
that
on.
down, yeah.
And that comes with training and the actual how it is on the actual day itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so sub 40 for 10k, sub 20 for 5k. All right. What is considered for you out of your remit? What do you know that you couldn't achieve?
I don't know. Nothing's unachievable, though, is it?
I used to believe that, but I don't anymore. Everyone thinks they can climb Summit K2.
Yeah, I know as you get
but they can't.
older, but like, as I'm getting older, I'm actually getting quicker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Experience. You sleep well, eat well.
I sleep not too bad. It's what this Garmin tells me.
Yeah,
So,
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
but I do try and eat really well. A lot of stir fries and stuff like that, but stuff that I've cooked myself, not bought in and stuff like that. So trying to look at what I do, hydration as well.
You've kept your running up then from when you stopped playing football at 40.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know what that's like when you stop playing a sport. I stopped playing basketball through injuries. What was your reason in football?
Just got to that stage. I just put that was in my mind.
Yep.
40 was, I've got my kids. I don't want to be playing. I'm not getting paid to play football.
Yep.
If I was getting paid 60, 70 grand a week, happy days. I'd carry on now.
Yeah.
But you got to, leave it and leave it and say, if I get injured, I'm going to be able to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to put food on the table.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So
Actually, that's quite interesting when Jim says about, if you get injured in your sport of choice, your passion, it's not your profession. Your profession is tailoring suits. Looking after people's, aesthetics. But if looking after your athletics had a detrimental effect on that. I've talked about that in a previous podcast where, I call it runner's denial or athlete's denial. Somebody will keep on doing or playing the sport or participating in the sport that gets them injured. And because they're so entrenched in it, when all the evidence shows them physiologically, mentally, emotionally, and there's empirical evidence to prove that what they're doing is damaging their body, they continue doing it, in the knowledge that it's going to get them even worse because that habit has been slow formed. And to actually transition from one sport to another, or to come off the running sport for 6, 12, whatever many weeks and spend your time in the weightlifting room with your therapists or in the swimming pool and go back to running, just as fresh and stronger. It takes a lot of people severe injury or a setback in time for them to notice that. We've got to give our bodies repair and rest. So talking of that, you're travelling to Thailand?
Yes, on Wednesday.
Okay, so Jim, tell our audience what else you do.
I go fishing a lot as well.
Yeah.
So mainly in France, quite a few places around Lincoln.
Yeah.
And I've got that I go as well, but mainly in France. But say on Wednesday I'm going to Thailand for nearly a month.
Yeah. So 4 weeks in Thailand fishing. Okay, so a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of reeling in and whatnot and throwing bait. But I know I'm certain it's more than just reeling something in and throwing bait out.
Yeah.
To travel to the Far East, to Thailand, to go fishing, is that a destination that other people would think about going? If I was really into it and I knew all about it.
Yeah. It's world known, this place that I'm going.
And what kind of fish is it? What's the?
A lot of obviously southeast, southern hemisphere fish species. Different fish. Some of them are from the Amazon.
Yeah, crikey.
Some big fish out.
Yeah. Are you going to be posting that on your media pages?
Yes, I will do.
Oh, looking at them.
Well, I should do if I catch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you don't because you don't post one that's not in your head.
No.
Here's one that got away. There's nothing to see.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the post running or in between your running. When you take up some form of rehab or strength training, to complement it, you said you've seen stuff and read stuff and watched stuff. What does that look like for you?
That looks good. I know I should do more of it.
Yeah.
Or incorporate a bigger block into my training.
Yeah.
So whether it's on a rest day, when I was doing the marathon last time, I was running 5-6 days a week.
Crikey.
And obviously that 1 or 2 days of rest, and it's thinking, well, should I be doing something on this rest day? No, and then let your body. The watch is an unbelievable piece of kit now. Where it says, "Look, enough's enough, Jim. Rein it in because you've got some big miles coming up."
Gotcha. Yeah.
And stuff like that. So just incorporate a little bit more of that strength training in there. I think will see me through to what time I predict or hope to get next year at London.
Gotcha. Because strength is the foundation for so many different physical attributes, not just running, but even swimming or cycling. If there's a drop in strength, or there's a strength that doesn't suit the sport that you participate in, you're going to get a lot further with a kind word and a strong grip than just a kind word. That's what they say. But also there's a threshold to it as well. Some people get into strength training and they go and train like your average gym member, who joins the local leisure centre and does their 3 sets of 10 on a seated chest press, 3 sets of 10 on the seated back row, some bicep curls. Well, that might pump the muscle up for a day or two, but it's not going to help with the power in the lungs and the power in the quadriceps and the glutes and the hamstrings. So my advice, and I know that you know this as well, but I'll give you some unsolicited advice anyhow. When you go for strength training for running, yes, you should train your whole body, but a bigger percentage of it should be from the waist down, and the waist even as high as the solar plexus, the abdominals down.
Yeah.
You know, the core, people talk about core training and they think it's the abdominal region. Well, the core is from the clavicle to the pelvis, all the way around.
Yeah.
So you should train your core to actually stabilise you for when you deviate, because you don't run on train tracks.
No.
You know, runners get injuries, a multitude of injuries, and one of them is maltracking patella. So essentially the kneecap deviates outside the patellofemoral groove, the little anatomical train track that sits in our knee for the kneecap to articulate, to flex and extend the knee. And what happens is with runners, they can get maltracking patella. It's only got a shift left or right by a millimetre or two, and you've got knee pain, dysfunction, which spreads to the hip and the feet as well. I had patella tendonitis, quite severe, in my early 30s from years of playing basketball, and it took its toll on my knees. And here I am now at 53, and I've still got knee ache now. I've not had it for the last 20 years, but with all my cycling, climbing, trekking, cycling, it's taken its toll. So I'm mindful to have those time off, trekking, climbing, cycling, long distance walks, and spend that time weight training, strength training, the frame around it to help support the knee. So you might want to go through some period of strength training, body weight training, then actual free weights, and possibly even, as long as you've got the nervous system and the capability to handle it, a little bit of plyometric training for the power in the legs. Okay, where do you see yourself stopping running then? When
Father Time tells me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll keep going for as long as I can.
Yeah. Your kids are grown up now. You're not.
Yeah, they're 23 and 25 now.
Yeah.
So both flown the nest.
Sure. So you can still run in your 70s if you.
Yeah, I'm beyond Tristan.
And fishing.
I'm fishing.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm gonna. There's a misconception. It's quite a recent one as well about fishing. I read about it, and are you happy for me to divulge it? Okay. In the last 2.5 years, I entered a really tough sporting arena. It's called online dating. Right? It's one of the hardest sports that man can try in this modern era, and I've done all right at it, but I know when to have a time off it as well. And it's interesting enough that they say this isn't me. This is something I read on more than one occasion, which made me think, well, this must be a thing now, and that the women on these online dating apps don't want to date guys that go fishing, and they put it out, they put it in black and white at the top of their profiles. So I met this woman, I was dating her, and I asked her, I said, what's all this about? And she said, yeah, it's a known thing. These women don't want to date guys that go fishing because they think that every weekend you're literally going to be gone fishing with your pals. Right, is that true? Yeah. Do fishermen always disappear on a Saturday morning?
You could be out for 3 or 4 nights a week if you solid block if you're that dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so how does that work with the missus now?
Sounds a pound.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like it. Yeah.
Sounds a pound.
But
it's good.
Yeah, same thing with golf though, isn't it? You know, if you take up golf, I played golf for 18, 19 years on and off, sometimes good, sometimes poorly, and it's quite addictive as well. And there's always that conversation, oh, golfing again, are you? Or you're going to play, because that takes time, and you've got to go somewhere. Oh, if you go to the gym, it could be next door to where you live. You could put a gym in your garden, couldn't you really? Or in your garage. But fishing and golfing, it's a destination as well. Exactly. I know that you can play golf as well. Yeah. How does that work?
Same again. Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
It's getting that balance right. But
well, as in when you're approaching the golf ball, or balancing life. Smashing. I find we've all seen Jaws. Certainly people my age and your age, we grew up on it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I watched it again the other day, which takes me to the next thing. Fishing, sea fishing as well. Okay, what's the difference between freshwater fishing?
Freshwater fishing.
And sea fishing. All right, one's inland.
Yes.
Yeah, and one's in the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the geographical, topographical difference that everyone knows about. What other differences?
The other ones is you can have river fishing.
Okay.
And I go on a lake, mainly on lakes,
right.
So man-made lakes,
yeah,
or old gravel pits, or
gotcha.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Which is the hardest?
They're both equally as hard, or all three are equally as hard. Yeah, because you don't know what's down there. You can't see anything that's down there. So it's just look of the draw and bit of lady luck.
Do people that don't live in Florida or South Africa or the Mediterranean take up fishing? Because I imagine if they take up fishing and live there, Australia, California, it's sea fishing, yeah? Or maybe even inland waterways, Fort Lauderdale.
There's big, massive waterways in some of those American, Canadian parts. So
Okay.
Both.
Are you going to try sea fishing, or have you already had your?
I want to go sea fishing. It's on the bucket list to do. So whether it's South Africa or Australia or New Zealand.
Right.
Ideally I would like to go great white. So tag and release. But any big shark.
Tag as in when you stick the
scientists would monitor it and stuff like that.
Like National Geographic do it.
Something like that.
And you can do that. You can pay to.
I think so. I need to look into it further. I know you can go shark fishing and stuff like that. But specifically, targeting would be a great white. But obviously with the current environmental issues that people have, so it's whether it's still available to do, but it would be just tag and release.
Is there any fitness involved? And this is a genuine question as well for the fishing that you do on the lakes now. Is there such a big fish you've got to be strong to put it in?
You've got to be strong. I mean, it's like Thailand with obviously 95% humidity. Whacks it out of you.
I bet,
So you're fishing from 7 in the morning till 7 at night.
Okay.
And then you reel in because there's some strange noises from the jungle and stuff around you.
Really?
So there's no night fishing in Thailand, or not on this particular place that I'm going to. So you've got to be pretty fit, So.
And you've got all your food. Do you have a tent or what? Or where do you sleep?
In Thailand, I've got a 2-bedroom villa that comes in with this package on the side of this lake.
Brilliant.
There's a restaurant on there. Gymnasium. So I'll be taking me running shoes and doing a few miles in the morning before I start fishing.
That sounds like a decent. Even if you're not experienced in fishing, I'd enjoy doing something like that. I wouldn't know what to do. You have to show me how to hold the rod, how to do that. What have you? I've got no idea. I've done it before with some friends. We're talking maybe 5 times in my whole, and I've always enjoyed it because it's different. But if you've got a villa there to sleep well and somewhere to eat well and even get a bit of fitness training in, okay. Otherwise, it's 12 hours a day sat on a side of a lake. You go do lally, wouldn't you? Or maybe after.
No, it's good because I find with my fishing, it grinds me and brings me back down to earth. Because it's me against the fish and Mother Nature. And it just gets rid of all the negative rubbish in my head.
Gotcha.
It just clears it out. So,
do you think about work when you're fishing?
Tend not to, try not to. But obviously if the old phone starts ringing, you think, I'm fishing.
And you could be by the lake while you're fishing and someone's ringing.
Someone's ringing.
When can you get me in?
Can you get me in? Get me in. So
I'll see you in 4 weeks.
So,
okay. What's the okay, so getting back to that then, is there a time in your profession as a tailor, like a downtime? For us, personal training side, downtime is in terms of our least appointments in the year would be July, August and part of December. What about your line of work?
December, obviously people are wanting them for New Year's Eve, parties and stuff like that, mainly dinner suits and stuff. It tends to be a little bit quieter then, so there's a couple of weeks up to Christmas and then into the new year. Obviously you get them out sort of November time if you can.
Gotcha.
Unless you get the lastminute.com people that ring you up and say, can you squeeze me in? And you think, okay.
Do you do fittings for proms?
No, not tend to bother with that because a lot of the guys will hire or have hired suits. I've done a couple where the people have wanted me to make them and stuff and bits like that. But on a whole, people will normally go and buy an off the peg suit.
Okay,
for
gotcha.
And stuff like that.
And it's okay just to wear for one night. As long as they get the bloke in the shop will tell them, right, what's the starting price point in a suit then? Okay.
Well, mine or in the shop.
In your line of work, I come to you.
So my 2-piece suit, so jacket and trousers start at $6.85.
Okay.
3-piece start from $7.95.
Okay.
And each of the pattern books.
3-piece meaning the waistcoat.
Jacket, trouser, and waistcoat. And then each of the pattern books are separately priced.
Gotcha.
So you can go as high as you want. If you're picking out really expensive cloth per metre,
like cashmere or something.
Oh there's some.
Or like some rare Scottish designs or something.
All the tweeds are separately differently priced as well.
Okay, what's the real top of your price range then? What's most someone's paid?
Just over £5,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah.
Shows my. And is that the sort of price that you get in Savile Row as well? If they went for the same suit?
Savile Row, you can name your price. You can go up to 10, 15,
really?
20,000. It depends on the cloth,
Okay. So would a customer who spends £5,000, wouldn't they be going on, this is just because I don't know, wouldn't they be looking at trying to buy a Tom Ford suit because it says Tom Ford on the label? What's the difference between Jim Smith and Tom Ford? Apart from
Jim Smith.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Quality service, positivity.
Yeah.
Just great customer service.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. I imagine though that someone who's going to spend, forget £5,000, even someone that spends, let's half it, £2,500 on a suit, has that customer, John or Mr. Smith, who wants to spend 2.5 to 5K on a suit, have they got the, because you would get to know them surely to some degree?
Yeah.
Have they got the educational background, the properties, the cars, the whole thing to match or justify a £2,500 suit? Or could they come from a low income estate in South London where ordinarily with poor education, poor nutrition, you know, and there's actually evidence to show that as well, but still want a £2,500-3,000 suit?
Because you never judge a book by its cover.
Okay, sure.
You know, and that's the way I was always told.
Yeah.
Never judge a book by its cover, because you don't know. Joe Bloggs off the street walks in, you know, to a store when I used to work in a store.
Yeah.
He could be the scruffiest guy on the high street.
Yeah.
But he could have 3 or 4 grand in his pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know that. You don't know that.
Sure.
No one knows it.
Yeah.
And it's just giving them great customer service.
Yeah.
And they will spend it with you.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, I know you have got good customer service because your name rings out around, certainly, you know, around the Lincoln area and the people that I know that know of you as well. But it takes time to build that reputation. You know, whether it takes the same amount of time depending on what our professions are, because there's wiggle room for everything. But I think time served is always a good marker. If I think, oh well, this guy. David set up a suit tailoring business yesterday morning, and the week before he worked in a baker's. He might have a new shop window and open, but grand opening, grand closing as well.
Yeah.
I always think, okay, how long has that person been doing it? Have they done it for this person that's referred? Have they done it during a recession and managed to get through? You know, get through uncertain times when consumer finance might take a dip on certain things. What's your biggest? What do you think is your biggest competitor? Not in terms of another suit maker or a tailor, but something that isn't actually anything to do with suit making or tailoring, is a bigger competitor, or if not a financial distraction for the consumer. What else do they spend their money on?
That's a good question, that. I mean, if they're coming to me, they know that it's going to cost them some money. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
If they haven't got that money, then they wouldn't get in touch with me. That's the way I do read it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, that.
I looked into for my line of work.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a saying that I don't worry about the competition.
Sure.
Let the competition worry about me.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the way.
There's some degree of safety in that. When you're that way, you know, I've learned over a space of time in my line of work. I'm long in the tooth in what I do now, but I've learned that competition for what we do, competition's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Whichever way that we decide to call it, whatever term we give it. Okay, quite often it's not always from the same line of work or even something similar. It can be something so competition for the consumer not to come to a personal trainer is Amazon, McDonald's, Netflix, Disney channels, streaming services, expensive mobile phones, Costa Coffee, all your coffee outlets that they spend £1,000 a year on going to Starbucks and what have you. That's our competition.
Bottling Nescafe and stick it at home.
Yeah, but it's boring. No one wants to do that. And it's not social, is it?
I don't drink coffee.
So I do. Yeah, good man. Well, don't start either, Jim. You know what I mean? So keep you awake at night.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we've looked at your running. We've looked at fishing. We've looked at what you do in tailoring. Okay, what else is there? What else is there to Jim?
I've just recently organised a charity golf day.
Okay.
In memory of my good lady.
Yeah.
So I try and hold it every September.
Yeah.
At Market Raisin.
It's a popular event as well.
It is very good. Yeah, I get a great response from people, local businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Teams and stuff in, and all the money that we raise goes to the oncology department that treated her at Lincoln Hospital.
In Lincoln, yeah, just around the corner from here. They do a good job.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They do a great job. Yeah.
How long has that been going on for?
It's been going on now this has been the 5th year that we've run it.
Yeah.
We've just, so once all the money comes in from this event, I think we'll be probably raising just over 25 grand for that particular
superb
award. So
that is really good. I want to commend you for that, sir.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? That takes a certain type of person, hard work and dedication, and actually a reason as well. Not easily done though, you know. So not that I know of anyhow. Okay, so there's that side to you. Is there another side to Jim? Okay, that we don't know about? Something that you've done in the past or you're planning on doing, or you're a father as well?
I'm a father, yeah. My two girls have both obviously left the nest.
Yeah.
They're cracking on with their lives. So yeah, just I'm always in the background and just keeping an eye, making sure that, like any father, innit?
Straight and narrow.
Yeah.
You don't leave
Dad, can you? I was like, yeah. So yeah, you're always there, and just hoping that they're okay and moving on with their lives and keeping going. So,
all right. Okay. Okay, so we talked about Jim's profession, his passion in sport, running, which keeps you strong and fit. Okay, we talked about his fishing, international as well. Okay, the charitable events that Jim does, and of course the main thing, making us, well, certainly not me, but someone else look better than they already are. I do on the inside, Jim makes them look good on the outside, but there's symbiosis between them, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, massively.
There's no point having a nice suit if you haven't done the push-ups underneath it. Although, I'm sure that you've tailored and you've worked with people, with men that are in really poor condition, just by the eye test. Yeah. If they come in and they're 19, 20 stone, and you still think, well, you still want a suit. And bigger, and more material.
Yeah, more material.
So, okay. Right, little few questions, all right, just to actually get to understand the other side of you as well, because I like to kind of tease it out of you. Yeah. All right, you're a year and a half younger than me, so you're from the 70s.
Yeah, 72.
Right, what's your go-to movie?
Go-to movie. I'm going to say Jaws.
Jaws, okay. We'll just go back to fishing again. Yeah, that's real, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, but the original.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg, Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw.
Yeah,
fantastic film.
Absolute brilliant film.
Yeah. If you've never seen Jaws and you're of a certain age where you came, the fun fact is Jaws, not Star Wars. Jaws was the film that actually coined the phrase blockbuster. It was Jaws that started that phrase, went around the block. Okay, what's your go-to artist, music artist or album?
Music, New Order.
Okay, yeah.
Or late 70s, obviously Joy Division, and then Ian Curtis committed suicide.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Formed into New Order. So
that's that's right. New Order come from Joy Division. Okay. So are they still playing now?
Yeah, still going now.
Not
with the original.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's a couple of members have changed and stuff like that. But but the original. Yeah.
Okay. Who's your football team?
Newcastle.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that.
I'm not the Man U like everyone. When we was at school, all the lads used to say, "Oh yeah, we support Man U." I was like, "Yeah, support them because they're winning all the time." So Newcastle.
Okay. Interesting though, they've got a bit of a cash injection there in the last few years.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that will take longer than people thought. With the might of Man City to topple Man City, it could be Newcastle, it could be someone like Aston Villa 10 years from now, but we'll see. Okay. Favourite dish on the table? If there's one meal.
I do a lot of stir fry, so it'll have to be some form, probably chicken stir fry.
Yeah,
but
that's so basic. But homemade.
But a Jim Smith one though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jim Smith one.
But more sauce on it. Okay, or less.
A few chilies in there, veg and stuff. Yeah.
All right. You could retire in one country tomorrow morning. Where is it going to be?
France.
Oh, fishing again. And you know France, yeah?
Yeah,
it's a big place.
Got my own lake in France.
Have you? Yeah. Superb. It's a big place as well, you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've got quite a few clients that go there for holidays and some that actually have got places out there. Port Grimald or something like that. Yeah, but it's really nice. Okay, go-to car. If money's no expense.
Porsche, 911, GT3.
Okay, so you like speed and a growl. Yeah, okay. All right then, Jim. There's a link that we're going to put into our video today. So if you'd like to make it clear for our listeners and our viewers, because they're going to hear you on Spotify and they're going to see you on YouTube. Okay. How do the men and some women of Lincoln and the UK contact you for JS Tailoring?
You can contact. I've got a business Facebook page. Yeah. Which is JS Tailoring. Yeah. I've got Instagram, which is jstailoring.lincoln. Okay. I'm also on Twitter. Yeah. X. X. Yeah. I just call it Twitter. Yeah. I just call it Twitter. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. Come off LinkedIn. Right. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Any particular reason you come off LinkedIn? Just got bored with people posting the same stuff on all the same platforms. Gotcha. All different platforms. Yeah. The same stuff. I'm like, well, I want to read something a little bit different. Gotcha. Okay. If I'm doing a post on my business Facebook, I will word it slightly different. Yeah. How I'll do it on my Instagram. And vice versa. So you're essentially reading the room that he was going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When's your next tailoring job? Where you got to go to today or tomorrow? I've got one in about half an hour. Yeah. In Saxilby. Saxilby, yeah. So those of you who don't know Lincoln, that's about 20 minutes from here. Yeah.
All right, now you've got to see to a few more customers before you fly out to Thailand.
Yes.
Are they going to be contacting you over the next 4 weeks though?
They probably will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably will do.
And you can answer?
I'm probably going to change my voicemail.
I've
But even
gone
that doesn't
fishing.
stop them.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop people, you know. They're still emailing, you know, obviously emails.
Yeah.
You know, but they still ring up, and even though you've changed the voicemail to say I'm on holiday,
Yeah.
uncontactable until whatever date.
Sure.
They're still ringing through
Yeah.
and leaving you voicemails, and you're thinking, right, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not listening properly, but there you go.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
It's still a customer though, aren't they?
yeah, still a customer. Yeah.
Yeah. When do you know they've committed? At what point?
When I get it penciled in the diary.
So if they just say, all right, Jim, I want to see you on the 10th of 9th of September, do you think they've committed just by saying, can I see you on the 9th of September? That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
They don't pay deposits or?
I pay a 50% deposit up front.
Yeah, because I would think that's when you know they're committed.
Oh yeah. Or when I pull out my card machine out of my bag
And they pay.
and I'll just pop it down on the side and don't say anything.
And they do.
They'll clock it.
Yeah.
And they think, oh right, okay, he means business now.
Yeah,
I mean business.
Yeah, you're not making sofas, are you?
No, exactly.
You're there to do suits.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
You don't come to a personal trainer or a specialised tailor to see how much money you could save. You come to get your body in good shape, and they get to come to get a great suit so they look good.
Yeah.
You go to an investor, stocks and shares and acquisitions to see how much money you could save, or your high street bank.
Yeah.
But when you look for a specialist in a particular field, yes, you want to know what the price points are, what the financial implications are, and the financial commitments. But no one goes to a trainer or a tailor to save money. They go out to actually get what they want, okay? And the finance part of it is just the transaction,
Yeah.
okay? And I think it's actually good to have a good price point with things. It lets people know that you've got a good, high quality service, sir. So that being said then, okay, that wraps up today's podcast. I think you're my 9th or 10th guest, Jim, and it's been a pleasure getting you through the door, sir.
Good to see you.
And I'm looking forward over the next 4 or 5 weeks to the pictures of you holding these veritable monsters that come out of the lake. I always think, is that so brim? But no, crikey, they're huge. What's the biggest, heaviest one you?
The biggest one that I've had over in Thailand was £130.
That's a small man.
Yeah.
That's like 10 stone or 9.5 stone.
Yeah. But there's some in that lake that are
Yeah.
£200-300, £400.
And you could reel them in. You could get them in
Yeah.
with the right equipment and knowledge and timing.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that. So yeah, Jim, been a pleasure.
Thank you, Tristan.
Yeah. Want a good suit? Come see this guy, and also follow his running exploits as well. 5, 10k, half marathons.
Half marathon, and then I'm going for the London Marathon again.
London Marathon next year. Yeah, superb. Yeah, that's a bit out of my remit to train all the time for running, but you look well for it, Jim. Happy birthday for this week as well, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, it's the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. My name is Tristan Lowe, and you can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Here we are now, just starting the second week in September. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Until the next one. Bye for now.